is some backers for what I'm putting together. And if
Okay.
you notice, the I'm going to use this comedy competition, the last comic standing. I talk about that all the time, and that's one of the reasons why I was, kind of like pushed into focusing on the business
Okay.
of comedy and not so much focusing on myself as a comedian. I just got so sick and tired of seeing how so many of these comedy competitions and festivals and auditions for all these different comedy shows were mainly just focusing on the bigger names in the industry.
Yep.
I'm underdog. People can still look at me as a new jack, although I've been doing comedy since the '80s. I just didn't, stick it out like the well-known that we have today. But thinking about how so many of us well-known comedians and unknown comedians can come together, kind of like how Nick Cannon did Wildin' Out. You
Yes.
see how he does that? He bring those unknowns, find them really really funny unknowns, and just because they're connected with the well-known, they get thrust into that well-known status. But there are a
Mhm.
lot of unknown funny people out here that need to really need to be discovered. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're right about that. So I
yeah.
understand you are working on your organization for the homelessness. Are you concentrating for it to only be in St. Louis, the Midwest?
No, 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 no. The whole goal, and the reason why I want to use comedy to do this is because when you think about entertainers, we are the only group of entertainers that can kind of like get to each other depending on who we know in the industry. We
Mhm.
can make a phone call and get to that next person. It's not the same with rappers and singers. The comedy, it's just we're just a unique industry. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So if just imagine we have, just think of 50 of the funniest comedians well known. I'm gonna go with well known, right?
Okay.
Say we had each one of them to host a show in an arena,
Okay.
okay? But we're doing it to raise money for, it don't have to be just one cause, but just imagine all of the people who are working with those promoters who are putting together those shows to raise money to combat homelessness. But the only way we can really combat homelessness is through partnership. So if we're raising money to help with their rent or mortgage and someone else is on board to share some of the proceeds raised, that will help with legal issues,
Okay.
cleaning up credit, um, mentoring kids. I mean, you could just think of your own family or anyone in your family situation, right? It's
Okay.
not just one issue that's holding them back. It's multiple things. But just imagine if we came together and raised millions of dollars and we helped a few hundred people to maybe 1,000 people at a time. And then that's in one city, right? Now you go
Okay.
to the next city and they're doing the same thing, and then the next city they're doing the same thing, and that's basically what I submitted my proposal to Guinness to do: create the largest comedy festival collaboration. I put on there the United States, but Guinness told me I couldn't do that. It has to just be, because they do it worldwide. It can't be specific to one country. So I got it approved, and I started positioning myself over the years to do the first one,
Okay.
and that is to break the record of the comedian who set the record in 2008. So when he set his record in 2008, I was like, just imagine if I could do something like that in St. Louis, and we start helping people with rent or mortgage payments by making the tickets to the event raffle tickets. So we don't pick the certain people that we help. We let them come to the event and do it like a lottery. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yes.
You imagine somebody winning the lottery after millions of people contributed $1, $2, $5, $50, $100. You know how people get when they hear about a large lottery, right? They want to
Right.
spend as much and buy, as many tickets as possible. So I came up with that idea because once I pull out the event, every person who come to the event, they can make an they can choose to purchase a certificate from Guinness saying that they participated in the Guinness World Record attempt. So they would get this certificate. I don't. I have to go into the site and email the person who's over my account that I communicate with through Guinness to find out if they raise the prices on bringing the judge to the event and or if they raise the price of how much the certificates cost. Because Guinness would make a lot of money by each person purchasing a $20 certificate. Because most people gonna want to have some proof that they participated in the Guinness World Record, right? So that ticket
Right.
would, if we include the price of the certificate in the price of the ticket to come to the event, then that means every person will automatically get a certificate. But they all
Okay.
will actually sit and watch me do comedy for an hour.
Okay. So,
And here's
so, so you're using the proceeds from the comedy festival, and that's what's going to help stop homelessness. But you're helping
yeah.
comedians along the way, and then they can also get their certificate with the Guinness World
It's
Record.
not. It's not. But let me clarify that the Guinness World Record is not how many comedians can show up at a show. That's not what that's about. Anybody can come to the show. But what I'm doing for the comedians that are involved in the festival, because it's a competition also. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone who is a part of the festival is for the competition part. They will get an opportunity to be in the movies that we're writing. I just connected with another playwright who wants to help me write another version of one of my stories. So she just texted me yesterday and called me yesterday and left a message. She wanted to get started on helping me write either the play or the movie. And I've already got a promo video of the comedy movie version of my story called Certified Crazy. And that's the movie
Okay.
that's about the postal service, right? And the
Okay.
documentary, I don't know if you got a chance to see my documentary.
So I looked on the website, and I did see under clean comedy you had like plays and everything. Well, I did
Yeah,
see a play.
that was a comedian. That was a comedian who does. He's a. I don't know what's going on with him. Dominique Howard is a very talented individual. I don't know. I haven't seen or heard from him in a year. I've been checking out his social sites, um, and I'm praying that he okay because he made a video for me that explained what the comedy movement was about. And did you see that video? I don't know
Yes,
if you saw it.
I did see a look.
How we put that together and how he stated it. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
we can come together. We don't have to have the big names, but just imagine if we got the big names and the underdogs working together. It's kind of like how Whoopi Goldberg, Billy Crystal, and all of them came together to do comic relief.
Okay.
Just imagine if that was still going on today. But what happened with that, they didn't keep it going, and somebody attached comic relief to the red noses. You know them red nose? They selling those things everywhere, all over the place. I mean, making a lot of money. And I don't know where the money is actually going toward. Just imagine if we did something like that here in the
Mm-hmm.
United States, just to help and heal through laughter, and we're helping people in multiple ways. But the whole goal is to help people avoid homelessness or get out of homelessness. But
And
we
so
have
you
to do it like that number at a time.
got you. And then you want organizations to help you meet your goals. Do you have any major organizations that have already donated or sponsored you?
No, I don't really sort after the major organizations because quite a few of them have let me down. And there's one in particular, I don't really call their name out on social media,
Yeah.
uh, mainly because I don't want to. I don't want to deal with them trying to bring me back into court, but I beat them because of some foulness that happened um, with that involved my one of my family members, and I had to fight them for like 3 years. And fighting them, um, it taught me a lot about what a lot of these large organizations are doing, and it hurt me because this is like an organization that's supposed to be for us as people,
Okay.
and you know what I mean. So I mean, anybody can do that research and find out what I'm talking about, but I can tell my story, I could talk about it, but at the same time, I'm doing what I need to do to stay focused. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like the smaller organizations mainly because they are the ones with their feet on the ground.
Mhm.
They're the ones that are doing majority of the work, and they are the ones that are going into their own pockets. In most cases, helping the community. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um, so some of the organizations that I've helped over the last several months, I started making the buttons, keychains, and magnets that I make. I made some for comedians. I made some for profits, and through these little small items, I wish I had some in the car. I know I got. Oh, here's one. Well, everybody's familiar with Black Lives Matter, right?
Yes.
So I had, made some of these. That's one of the latest designs that I made. But I have so many designs that I've done since 2014, and it's actually what helped me keep going with the mission. You know,
Okay.
and everything I do is about the end homeless mission. So if we're coming together, we're making movies together, we're doing stage plays, we're doing comedy sitcoms or whatever, sketch comedy, what have you, then we're helping more comedians get out of homelessness or avoid it, right?
Right.
That's just one way. Um, with the buttons, keychains, and magnets, if I'm making these items for nonprofits to go out and fundraise with, then I'm helping them help someone else, even the founder of that organization get out of homelessness or avoid it. I look at so many different ways that we can help people get out of homelessness or avoid it. It's all about helping people fish,
Mhm.
teaching people how to fish, positioning them to be in a better financial position to help themselves. And that's what the end homeless mission is about. It's not about feeding people. It's not about giving them clothes. Matter of fact, I don't even let nobody donate. Don't donate no clothes or nothing like that to me. I leave that for those who are passionate about that. And I try to partner with those who do that because we can't do one thing without doing the other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
Because uh, it's helping someone if you're giving them food and clothes, but it's not the solution. And the solution is partnerships or collaborations to work together to get more people out of the situation.
Got you.
And
And
that's that's the solution.
so, is there a story behind you wanting to help the homeless? What made you want to get in and help them out?
Well, what brought me to the reason why, because all of the years that I was in and out of homelessness after fighting for justice for myself. That's why I was asking you about the documentary. The day I almost went postal, and I had never experienced homelessness before taking on the United States Postal Service. Um, a supervisor ended up sticking me in the eye with an APN in 2001. I worked for the Postal Service for like 16 years, and while working for them, I was also a metro driver for a bus company, bi-state development. And I let Metro go, stayed with the post office, and end up getting carpal tunnel syndrome. And for me, getting carpal tunnel and having the surgery on both my wrists, that was devastating for me because I would always work and provided for me and my family and never filed for unemployment before, none of that, right? Because I
Right.
left college and matter of fact, when I left college, I came home devastated at the fact that I couldn't finish school because I had a young kid and nobody was stepping up to watch her. So when I started work for the post office, that was good money, decent money at the time, but better money as I developed into a career employment. Normally got along with everybody, no problems with management up until that point. Um, but that fight, it caused me to have to sell the house that I was purchasing. Eventually, being forced out of the rental property that I was renting because the fight lasted for 5 years. And I took all of my thrift savings money to live off of. My mental state was it was terrible. I tried to take my life the day that she struck me in the eye with the e-pen on the job.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, and this stuff was done to me in front of a camera. You would think, okay, this should be open and shut case. It wasn't. And thankful to the gentleman who saw what happened, he kind of like went along the fight with me. And for him not giving up, it helped me win my case. But that pushed me into homelessness. It pushed me into homelessness and um, asking for help, begging for help, needing the help, and then me watching how the homeless problem was getting worse over the years. It just made me more passionate about that. And it's crazy how they say chasing your dream will lead you to your purpose.
Oh man, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh
I,
yeah.
you know what I mean? I was chasing my dream in comedy, and just like the saying goes, it led me to my purpose. I feel like it's my purpose to show people how to really fight this homeless problem.
Mhm.
And fighting the homeless problem could lead us to ways to lower the amount of people on drugs and alcohol, indulging too much in drugs and alcohol. Because alcoholism and drug addicts ain't going nowhere. That's going to always be. Because you're going to always have situations that's going to push a person to want to get high, get drunk. Um, and that's basically where my passion for the End Homeless mission, stems from. I started businesses from it, the bun business, a nonprofit organization. I have to reinstate it. I don't, try to get people to donate to the nonprofit because it's not for them donating to the nonprofit. It's for them supporting the mission to bring more people out of homeless situations.
That's that's awesome, especially with comedians, because I mean, people don't understand. For me, that it was a struggle for me to do slapstick. I pretty much put my all into slapstick. I was a single mom. I have two boys. And at the time I was like 27, 28. I purchased my home. I did have a full-time job. I decided to give up my full-time job to do slapstick full-time. And in between that time, like I had a new car, I had a house, everything. And I pretty much lost everything trying to keep up with slapstick and to build. I was putting my money into slapstick. And so I pretty much lost everything. So I think you're doing a great thing. And I think people need to be aware of that because they don't understand that it's a struggle. They see us doing comedy. I mean, I don't do comedy, but they see me with slapstick. They see you on stage. They automatically assume that we're rich and we have all this money
Right.
and we're doing this and that. It's like, no, we're like starving artists. So it's a struggle for all of us as well. And people don't understand that. So I think what you're doing is completely awesome because I understand it.
And here's the thing, having family to see your vision is like, it's hurtful.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With all of my children, my mom, my dad don't say anything. He's kind of like, leave her alone, let her do her, it's not my biological father. I didn't get a chance to know my biological father, but my mom is supportive, but at certain times she can be like, "You still trying to do that?" Like,
I think we have very similar stories, and it's funny that you say that.
Yesterday you said they gotta really love this. It's gonna be a lot of people gonna get behind you, and I'm like, Okay, in a few more days, you're gonna be mad at me because
I completely understand. I completely understand. And I feel like that's when it went down for me because my stepdad raised me. He was very supportive. He raised me from the time I was 3 months. When I had my kids, he supported me. I used to write for the Funny Bone. I used to write every Wednesday night. And then I would start going on the weekends and doing mainstream nights. So as everything was starting to take off for me, I was writing for the Funny Bones. I was always at the comedy club. And my dad was my biggest supporter. He helped me with my kids. And in between that time, the day before Father's Day, I'll never forget, I went to hang out with Kevin Hart. This was back in 2008. Kevin Hart came here to Columbus, Ohio. We hung out all night, and it was a Saturday, actually it was a Friday night, and I wanted to call my dad. We spoke every day from the time I moved out of my parents' home. I was 18, I had my kids, moved out, got my own place. My dad called me every morning at 7 a.m. And so we had plans for Father's Day. Long story short, I was calling my dad. He was not answering. I go to pick him up. He was dead. And so that was my biggest supporter. Like, it tears me up to this day. It's one of the hardest things I ever dealt with. So I commend you for what you're doing.
I know, sis. I mean, I'm I'm in tears for you because I went through that with my kid's dad.
Yeah, it's hard.
I was I'm taking on the biggest fight of my life. Now, all of my kids don't have the same dad. I'm fighting the postal service, and my youngest daughter at the time, dad was taking me to court, and while I'm fighting him, the middle kid's dad, who used to be the worst person in my life to me, had finally came around to see that I was a good mother, a good woman, and all I was trying to do was encourage him to love himself because he was a really bad alcoholic. 31 years old, I had to tell my kids that their dad died. And the day before he died, he begged me to leave the kids with him because he wanted me to be with him, but I knew he was abusive and he was still drinking, and he wasn't mean to the kids, but he would be jealous hearted of me and then start an argument with me and want to fight me and all this other stuff. But I remember him talking to me saying, he apologized for everything he did to me, black eyes, broken feet, all kind of crazy mess, right? And we were getting along. He was helping with the kids, and my mom called me and told me, and I was I was winning against the postal service, and things were coming around. Yet I was still fighting one kid's dad in court because he was mad because I was in and out of sight, wasn't being supportive to the fact of what was happening to me and my family. And then he died. And
Oh
I just
my.
thank God that I was in therapy because comedy saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
Comedy saved my life. The therapist that I had, matter of fact, he's talking on my documentary, Mr. Edward Allen. I think he went on and got a higher degree, but uh, he told me with everything that I was going through at the time, losing the post office, fighting for justice for my youngest daughter at the time, and the death of the kid's father. It was it was it was crazy, but people have to understand that losing something or someone is similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see that people get upset that their dog died or cat died and they just crushed. That's a love that you have for something. You develop that love for something. And I had to get an understanding of when the post office forced me out, it was like my life was over. I love the post office so much. Do you know I wrote majority of my jokes delivering mail? All of the crazy stuff I saw
I can
delivering mail,
imagine.
you
I can
know,
only imagine.
and how I'm writing my movie script. You know those delivery notices they give you when you have a package you got to pick up, or uh, um, important letter or something like that, certified letter, right?
Yes.
That's why I titled the movie Certified Crazy, because I was always thinking of some crazy, seeing stupid stuff on the route. I remember I wrote a joke, and by the way, I'm a prop comic, so you just have to get a visual for crazy stuff that I think. Um, this man, he was real big. Not to say nothing against people who are overweight or whatever, but his car was so little, and I'm like, why don't he got a truck or a van or just? I was like, why is this man trying to get in this little bitty car? And it was his car, but you could see how the car was leaning. I mean, if you can't laugh at yourself,
Yeah.
who can you laugh at?
Who can you laugh at?
And
Yeah.
I knew I had to put more emphasis on myself when I was writing my jokes, right?
Right.
I started writing more jokes about me, my crazy family, my all of my kids, and one of my funniest props that people remember me for, those who have seen me do comedy, is well, yeah, I told you I had 9 children, right? Did I tell you I have 9 kids?
You didn't say that part, but
I got 9 kids.
yeah. I
I
commend you
know.
on that. I couldn't imagine. I can't believe I
Well, you know, as comedians have to have an icebreaker, right?
have 2.
I would come out on stage with a baby, a real live looking baby attached to my bottom of my leg. You know, I'm comedian Miss Woody, so hopping out on stage, wobbling out on, I say limping out on stage. You don't see why I'm limping, but for those who don't know me, you see comedian Miss Woody, you think, okay, she must got a wooden leg or something, right? But I was looking up here, what I'm gonna say. I got this baby looking at the audience like this, right? Like, well, I got 9 kids, and the audience go, whoa, shit, damn. So anyway, the joke is opening up with, want nobody to watch her because she bites.
Oh my.
That's just one of my icebreakers. Now I told you got to get a visual. I don't have my jokes, my problems in the car, right? It just brought me some water out here. It's hot in here. But anyway, my prop that everybody mostly remember me from, and I've done this at the Bay Area Comedy Competition. I have these supersized birth control pills that I'm packed, a birth control pack. I pull it out and have my bag with my walk, and it's in the Walgreens bag. And the joke basically goes like this: as soon as somebody say "wow" or "damn," just like your reaction, I would have been instantly like, "I know, sis. I talked to the doctor and I told him his shit don't work." And the doctor told me, "Here, I got a new prescription for your ass, right? But you got to take this one through the drive-through at Walgreens, CVS, whatever pharmacy you get to." I go to the prescription window, hand the prescription to the lady in the window. She's looking at me like this. I'm looking at her like that. And she's looking at me and she's shaking her head like, mm-mm-mm. And I'm like, I know, I can't read this prescription either, right? She has me this huge bag. And in the bag is supersized birth control pack. So you got to get a visual on what it looked like.
Oh my goodness.
And basically what I did was I took, those big round sweet toy candies?
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite.
I took some of those, the little chewies or whatever they call them. Mm-hmm. They huge, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's just how my brain works when I'm visualizing props that'll make the audience laugh harder because they see the visual of I took a cardboard box, kind of made it like an oval long shape. If you remember how the birth control packs,
Oh yeah, I got some over there. No,
right. I can make them either kind of way. I can design to go any kind of way. The round pack, the oval shape, right? So I took the cardboard box, cut it, Reynolds wrap around it, right? The shiny
Right.
Reynolds wrap.
Yep.
And I stuck the candies. I took the yellow ones and the green ones. I bought a few packs of those candies, and I stuck those big, because they look like big giant pills, right?
They do. Yeah.
I stuck them on there, and then I covered it with Reynolds with Saran wrap to make it look like the big supersized birth control pack.
Hilarious. That's actually a real creative, really good idea. That's funny.
Let me tell you something. One of the other funny props that I have, and I was telling this joke at this speech I was doing, because I do more motivational speaking and use comedy to speak. Um, this this therapist, this doctor, he asked me to come and speak to his some of the clients, right? They were addicted to, drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. And the goal was to motivate them to not let, what they're going through think that everything is over for them. I didn't resort to alcohol and drugs and stuff like that, although I did try to drink my life away when I was fighting the post office. And I did try to take my life 4 times, but I tried to take my life by overdosing on the pain pills, the thyroid medicine I was taking, the antidepressants, and all of that type of stuff. I'm thankful that I didn't succeed. But when I was talking to this group of people, I was trying to be careful with my wording, but the doctor said, no, just talk to them. Just be who you are, because they can react one way or another, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm speaking to them, and I got my props. I'm, telling them my jokes. They're laughing. And the one that stuck out to them was my supersized, not just the supersized birth control pills, but I asked them, did they have roaches? Because we've all had them at one point or another, or some still do, right? So I showed them my special roaches, right? Not a roach you get high with, but a roach. My roaches won't die because they come dressed in army fatigue, gas masks with picket signs. So get a visual on a roach.
They there to stay. They dress. They
Hey,
going nowhere.
I come to the house, I hear music. I know I ain't leaving no radio playing. And they're kicking it, doing the and I got a magnifying glass because I'm trying to find out, because I just bombed the house. Like, why in the hell won't these roaches die? That's why. They dressed in army fatigue, gas mask with picket signs.
In regard to the comedy competition, the last one ended on June 30th. Is there going to be another one coming up?
Well, that was a trial run of trying to do it online, and it was kind of working, but not working.
Okay.
And I feel like this. Say if I had like a well-known host for each show, it would have been so many people checking it out. It would have been so many people more curious about the comedy festival, the Midwest Show Me Funny Comedy Festival, what it's about, what's the meaning of it, all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it helped me get to a few more people to see the idea of what I'm doing. So that was helpful in itself, right?
Right.
There was supposed to be a different nonprofit organization to speak each day, so that we can ask the audience viewing the event online to support the comedian, the host, the DJ, the nonprofit, whatever they prefer, whoever they prefer to support, or all of them. It helped me realize that it can be done virtually. And it also let me know that we are in desperate need of some live entertainment where you can come and connect with people in person.
That's what I tried to explain that to somebody. They said, me, because, I want to do documentaries. I don't want to do this online stuff. This is not what we started off doing. I'm just ready to get back to the live entertainment. That's how we get it. That's how we all get it. And I feel sorry, especially for comedians at this point. Like, that's how we make our money. And being able to do shows and get out there, this Zoom chat. Somebody said, why don't you do Zoom chats? I'm like, because after I could put the content out But in regard to like getting it on Netflix, and that's just not going to work. I don't, this is I don't want to call it depressing, but this is a crazy time. It's just
Oh yeah.
unfortunate.
And here's the thing about doing anything online. If you don't have the professional people to be the directors and all of that, and I was trying to do that, it was like, oh my goodness, if I really need a team, a team of people who's going to really come together to make this happen, because it can happen. It's done. It's been done before.
Yeah.
It's just doing it in a whole new way where there's not just one specific person who's shining. You know what I mean? We don't have, uh, like for example, when you say you were going to meet Kevin Hart that time, just imagine if we had Kevin Hart, we had Tiffany Haddish, and we had Monique, Rodney Perry, Gary Owens. I'm just mixing different comedians. It doesn't matter the background of the person, but just imagine we have all of these known names associated to the event.
And you're like, that's what's going to help promote it, because they're going to talk about it. That's what's going, and they already have an audience, so it's going to help everybody else be interested. It's going to help everybody come together, and that's really good for networking as well. So
yeah. I've been pondering on this idea of putting out there. Although I've been working hard to get sponsors and all of this other stuff, right? It took me a while to save up the money that I needed to lock in the date for the preliminary rounds of the comedy competition part of the festival.
Okay.
And the next year, I have Harris State University, which is a HBCU here in St. Louis. I put the down payment on it last year, ended up canceling the event. I had some other comedians like from Chicago and all of that were interested. And it took me 3 months just to line up the Juneteenth part of the event, because I have the venue for Juneteenth next year. I had it for this year, but then the pandemic stuff happened. And so I received an email assuring me that they are working with me for Juneteenth next year. Now, here's the opportunity for those who see it. A HBCU, Juneteenth week, 2021, where we're not only celebrating Juneteenth, but we have the campus from 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. We can do Juneteenth celebration during the day, and at night, utilize that auditorium to do the comedy competition, preliminary rounds of the comedy competition.
On a college campus. That's awesome.
Right.
That's smart, actually.
Yeah. We and just think of all of the comedians that promote shows in all the states that could be doing a competition to find the funniest person in that state to represent at the one here in St. Louis.
Okay.
Now, imagine the ones that win the final rounds of the event perform at the festival inside the stadium the day of the Guinness World Record attempt. And of course, we need a well-known host.
It could definitely happen. Right. Definitely.
I performed to break the Guinness World Record. The crowd is there to be a part of the Guinness World Record attempt, right?
Right.
Check out the well-known comedians and those who have won through the rounds. We raise money to combat homelessness, and how we begin the process of combating the homeless problem. We make the tickets to the event raffle tickets.
Okay. And then are you going to charge the audience to get in, the students?
Yeah. It has to be a ticketed event per the rules for Guinness. There would have to be one person per 50 people. So we need at least 1,500 volunteers to make sure we're counting everyone. And when the event is over, they keep their stub to be chosen to receive $500 a month for 5 months, or $500 a month for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to a year. Excuse me. excuse me. But when my breakdown, we can help about 300 people with $500 a month for 3 months, 200 people for $500 a month for 6 months, 100 people for $500 a month for 9 months, and 50 people for $500 a month for a year. That comes to 650 people, $2 million. We could raise anywhere between 10 and $15 million pulling off the event through that time span from Juneteenth week, and then we attacked the 4th of July weekend for the final part of the comedy festival and Guinness World Record attempt. You're talking about selling merchandise with Guinness World Record logos on it, because once they are officially involved, we get to use their logo.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So the final part of the festival will include vendors, over 400 vendors at the convention center. The vendors will include anywhere between 100 and 150 or more comedians doing meet and greets. So that means the contestants from the comedy competition can be a vendor to sell things and do meet and greets. So we mix those comedians with well-known comedians where people will come and get autographs and buy items that these individuals sell. They all got T-shirts to sell.
Yeah. Yep.
But how many of them are selling buttons, keychains, and magnets? Something
Not.
that they can put in somebody's hand
Mm-hmm.
and remember them. A T-shirt may be worn one or two times, may get lost, may get damaged. But one thing about a magnet,
You'll see them every day. It's a constant reminder, and boom, it's a great promotional item.
keychain, okay, or a button. I've made these items for comedians over the years. Some got it, most didn't. And my motto or my saying for my company saying on the button is let us help you put your brand in someone's hand. You know, we have to think like corporations, you know, think like a corporation. Kevin Hart is one of the top comedians that, you know, people may have some of his promotional items because they're fans, right?
Right.
I don't even know if he's selling those items. He probably is because he has an amazing marketing team. I'm sure he probably is, but it's just like slapstick. You got to send me something
Yeah.
so I can start making them for you.
Okay. I actually have. I do because actually that's one of the things I'm working on now are my promotional items and
Well,
definitely getting my branding and marketing together.
That's partner up. Let me make them for you.
Okay. We'll definitely talk about that for sure.
I made some for Hope Flood when she was doing her Comics Rock convention this year.
That's my buddy.
Yeah, I made some for her. She was kind of like, at first she was like, I don't know, Woody. I'm like, I'm not charging you. I want to send you these samples so you can, you know. And then it came to her like, oh yeah, I can put those in grab bags. I'm like,
boom. Yep.
So maybe
my sister.
Do the event, she may reach out to me. I make them to send them to people just to put them in their hand for the opportunity to build a business relationship, you know, especially if we can partner or collaborate in the future, what have you. But once I give them to you, guess what I've done? I put my brand in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Yep.
So it's just something that came to me while I was going through my homelessness. I wanted an idea to fundraise with, but the fundraiser was for helping me, position me so that I can help others. And often I would hear people say this, well, how you going to help people, homeless people, if you're homeless yourself? I was like, why not? Why can't I?
Yeah.
I've proven that I can, and I did. When I would make my items, and I had to focus on making things that people would want, right? So I made laughter is the best medicine, smile sometimes, too blessed to be stressed. When I go out and ask people to donate to the mission, I had like 30 or 40 different designs that they could pick from.
Okay.
Let me tell you when I made this item. I now have it as a podcast show that I recently just restarted from last year. It was People would laugh at this, and not everybody took this button, but they would laugh at it. It was two designs that I made. One is called "We Sick of This Shit." That's the title of my podcast.
Okay.
I just built the website and everything for it, right? And the other one was "Don't Ask Me Shit."
I like that one. Yeah.
And people would get either one of those buttons, and me being a comedian, I would stand out on the intersection, and I had my signs up, and people would give me that look like, "Going on, homeless lady," or whatever, right? And I'm like, I'm a business. I'm out here making money doing what the addicts do. They out here making the money that the nonprofits who help them could be.
Mm-hmm.
They could be hitting the streets and making the money before they get it and go get high with it. But anyway, I would go up to cars, and I was like, "You got that look on your face." I was like, "What?" I'm like, then I pull my button out and show it to them and give it to them, and they'll laugh. Like, "Yep, I had that. I was gonna say, don't ask me shit."
How much do you sell your buttons for?
I ask for donations of $2.
Okay.
But
That's very fair.
anybody who want to, get them from me to make money or whatever, then I just negotiate with them. I just look at everybody's circumstances as different. Somebody who got it like that, they can afford to pay, what it actually cost me and help me to move on. But I haven't really run into anybody that got it like that yet. But for the most part, I usually sell. I always ask for donations, really. But
Okay.
when I'm trying to conduct business, then I just work with the person, and I usually send people samples anyway. It comes back to me one way or another. Somebody might say, "Oh, these are nice. Let me send you something." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever you care to send me."
I like your T-shirts too. The "I'm certified crazy." I like those T-shirts.
Yeah. That T-shirt, I'm certified crazy, and I'll get back. I made this one that I got on for the comedy. I wore it specifically for this interview.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy had designed it, but I really wanted it bigger. And the guy who's gonna really do it up big for me, he just recently went through some tragedies, and I'm hoping to maybe partner with him once he back on his feet and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm looking to partner with as many T-shirt companies as I possibly can, because like said on a button, I said, wait a minute, anything you can say on a T-shirt, you can say on a button.
That's true.
I know, so I went looking for the domain, and I sell domains through my company called You Build It Online. I put in said on a t-shirt.com, it wasn't available. And it went to some site that it said wasn't a secure site. So I put in said on a t-shirt.com. It was available. I said,
wow.
Damn.
How damn.
I know, right?
And it trips me out when people buy stuff, like they'll buy the domain to sell it for more money. That trips me out too.
Oh yeah, people better get with it. And for anyone who watches this, if you are an upcoming name, you better buy your name. Buy your name as a domain. I bought Marshall Woodland. I bought Comedian Ms. Woody. I even started buying them for my kids that I know is going to be successful in the future. And they didn't have a domain. I say, let me go in there. Yes, because there are people out here that'll watch the internet and watch how you come up and will go in and buy your name.
Yep.
I think, I believe that happened to Wesley Snipes. I believe it happened to him, and there's some more other people that happened.
It just happened to me. My old website, I had it at Slapstick, then I changed it to Slapstick Comedy. When I went back to repurchase Slapstick Comedy, somebody else purchased it. It was over like $2,000. I said, I'm not paying that. So I just changed the new website to Comedy Slaps. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you have got to be kidding me.
Why not go back and get your original name? Just put the dash in there.
I thought about that too, and then I said, you know what? I'm just gonna change the name altogether and just keep it. And then,
but people are so used to slapstick comedy, though.
Yeah, well, I stopped doing it in like 2011, and then I just relaunched again in May.
Okay.
But when I bought my site in April, so when I went to look for my site, somebody already purchased slapstick comedy. And and it made me think. I remember when oh my God, I can't think of his name. Come on, son. Oh, I can't. Ed Lover. I remember when he was doing Come On, Son. He went to purchase his domain name. They already bought that. I couldn't believe it. So he was like, y'all thought I was gonna pay for that? No. He was like, I changed my name. And
so that was why you sent those other links.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Changed it. I was like, I actually had to get new cards. I had to redo everything. I had to get my cards redone. My old cards, they look like this. They had the old slapstick comedy website. I wouldn't have had to change too much, but I had to redo everything. But it was okay because I feel like I'm rebranding, and
it's always good to rebrand, and that's what I'm doing with Midwest Show Me Funny Entertainment. It's why I didn't even put Midwest Show Me Funny Entertainment on here, but I put Show Me Funny. I actually went in. Do you know? I have been on cue with these domains. Let me tell you. That I became a reseller for GoDaddy. I'm a reseller for GoDaddy, and I'm positioning myself so all of the comedians that come in under the comedy movement, if they don't have a domain, they can go through me to get the domain, because I'm trying to position myself to be like a company that can come in and basically get everything done.
Mm-hmm. Like a one-stop shop.
Right. So I'm a reseller for GoDaddy, and the name of my company, like I said, is You Build It Online, YouBuildItOnline.com. I went in and I was looking for Show Me Funny. I was able to buy ShowMeFunny.com.
Nice.
Before it was not available. So somebody let it go, and I was like, wow, Show Me Funny. And I'm just sitting on it because that's the title of the comedy festival.
Mm-hmm.
Show Me Funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey. So I really want to build it where I can, like when you went to the website and you saw the clean comedy and adult comedy and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have it where you come to the site and you see funny stuff, funny pictures, funny, but it's in time. I try not to just take on too much. I just preserve stuff for later.
I understand.
Yeah.
Then you'll be overwhelmed, and you're like, oh, I got to do this and this and this today and that tomorrow. And I completely get it. But do you know Longhorn?
Yeah, Longhorn, my buddy Longhorn. I know you were telling me you was gonna be doing an interview with him.
Yeah, we talked today.
Yeah, he Longhorn is such a smart comedian. Mm-hmm. I mean, just a smart man. He's really really good at what he do. He helped me along the way. I helped him along the way, and I know he's doing his nonprofit. And I was telling him I can make something for him. I hope he send me something. I've asked a lot of these comedians to send me their logos, because I don't want to just make their stuff and don't have their approval. But I would love to make some for him for the veterans thing that he support the veterans and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all in time that I believe a lot of these comedians are start to get what I'm offering, the ideal, and how all of us can bring something to the table. And that's one of my hashtags. We are powerful together. We are, and we are powerful together. And I really hope they join the comedy movement, because we can move ahead faster if we decide to, work more
together. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's one thing I want people to know about slapstick. I'm not in competition with anybody. That's not what I want to do. I want to promote all comedy. I want whatever people, the comedians, other comedy organizations have going on the outside, I want to promote it. And that's one thing that's super clear to me, and that's how I feel. We can all stick together and still stick to our own agendas and do what we got to do to move forward.
And that's one of the reasons why I designed the comedy festival in the way that I did, because it's opening up the door for others to do similar what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And my goal is to partner with two promoters per state. The reason why I only want two per state is because anybody can take the idea and do what I'm doing, which I would love to see somebody else do it, especially if they're doing it for causes, especially for combating the homeless problem. But I'm just gonna keep going and keep doing everything that I can. Look, I even got here in the car. Like when I go out, I've been doing this for years. I strike up conversations and I give out these little pieces of paper where people can read what I'm doing, check out my website. And I've encountered so many people over the years since I've been getting out in the community, especially with the buttons, keychains, and magnets since 2014. Thousands of people who know me.
Mhm.
And that's one of the reasons why I had to get a third Facebook page. Um, Now the people on the third Facebook page for the Marshall Woodland page, they're getting to know me. And I have to train them people to not waste my time.
Yeah.
I
Don't
got
ask
the
me
other two
shit.
pages. Right,
Just
right.
read my stuff.
Unless it's about combating this homeless problem, or you
Yeah.
getting involved with the comedy movement,
Or
or
you want
us
to ask me how much I need, how much you want to donate, we can
exactly.
talk money.
Right. That's and it's not even so much about money. It's more about a service that somebody can provide. You know what I'm saying? Because we know we need the money to rent the stadium and book the people and all of that other stuff. But what we can do together, especially if I'm working with nonprofit organizations with a 501c3,
Okay.
any nonprofit, I don't have a 501c3. Like I say, I got to reinstate my nonprofit. But working with a nonprofit organization with a 501c3 can get us through the doors to get more sponsorships and can get us discounts with renting the buildings and all of that. And I have a few nonprofits who say they want to partner with me, but I'm about pen and that paper. I'm a associate seller to Legal Shield. So if I have any contract that needs to be read or whatever, I send it right on over to Legal Shield. Matter of fact, having Legal Shield helped me negotiate my term sheet with the convention center. When they were coming at me, the way they were coming at me, they were really positioning me to screw myself, because if I had to sign the contract that they gave me and I agreed with what they said, I could have locked myself into having to pay for renting a stadium that I couldn't even use.
Oh, yeah.
It, these entertainers better get them some legal.
Oh,
They
yeah.
better get them some kind of legal.
I
I'm
agree.
saying we
I
all
agree.
we all need bail, no matter what business we're in, whether we're entertainers or whatever. We need the BAIL. We need the bail. We need the banking. We need the accountant. We need the insurance, and we need the legal. And that's one way to combat the homeless problem in helping those of us who are entrepreneurs in business to have bail, the banking, the accountant, the insurance, and the legal. Now, remember what I said, we come together, we raise anywhere between 10 to $15 million, and we sharing. This is my wish for this event. We come together, we raise the money, putting these events together. We share this money with all of the organizers, right? All the nonprofit organizations that's partnering with us, all of the investors, everybody who's invested in the community. We share this money with them, and we raise the money for the event.
You there?
To
Uh-oh.
help position somebody else.
Your phone completely went out.
Uh-oh. Let me
Yeah.
move it. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay,
But I
I think
missed the
I got
last part.
I said that we're coming together and we are positioning ourselves to have the bail by sharing the money from the money that we raise from these events. And it's
Okay.
not
Okay.
just about the comedy festival. Just imagine I'm writing a 4 to 5 part comedy movie, right?
Okay.
The first one is a big hit. Just imagine what the next series of the movies will be. The stage plays, anything else that we are coming together to do. Money is constantly coming in. But
Mm-hmm.
as it's coming in, we're positioning ourselves to help someone else invest in more people. And that's basically what I want to do with this comedy festival is an invest, is raise enough money to be an investor, you know?
See, that's an
I'm gonna,
awesome goal.
yeah, I'm gonna put it out there that I'm looking for about 30 people to invest $1,000 within a year to this event. Because all we got to do is do it once. I've already
Okay.
put the down payment on the college, so I'll spend the next year raising the rest of the funds to cover the cost of doing the Juneteenth celebration and comedy festival at Harrisville State University, and then there's a nonprofit organization called Housing Our People Everywhere. The guy who the founder of that company, his name is Chris Collins. It's a white guy
Okay.
and he's into construction and he wants to partner with me. I'm waiting on him to send me something official for the partnership so he can go in with me to rent the stadium and the convention center for less than what my term sheet says. So what he is doing, he's wanting to raise money to buy these machines that make special material out of recycled old refrigerators, cars. He wants to get all the scrap metals from like disaster areas whenever there's like hurricanes, tornadoes, and stuff like that, and recycle that material to build houses that are resistant to water, fire, and termites.
Love it. I love
Yeah,
that idea.
yeah. So he's a part of the team of nonprofit organizations that are forming a partnership. I say forming a partnership because it's not written in stone, and most of the people kind of like slide away. So I just let them slide away and eventually come back when they're ready. So he is one of the main nonprofit organizations that I'm in communication with to build this partnership so that we can go in together to rent the stadium. So when we raise the money, then we're sharing money with his organization so that he can go out and purchase material to build these houses. But when you get a chance, check him out.
Okay.
Housing Our People Everywhere. Chris Collins is his name, and his organization is found under Hope, H.O.P.E.period. So Hope, that acumen.
Okay.
Acumen.
Acronym. I got you. Got
And
you.
there are other organizations in other parts of the country that, like I said, I've been making the buttons, keychains, and magnets for so they can fundraise for their organizations. And I'm going to put it out there that I'm looking for 30 individuals who want to put up $1,000, and that money will go toward covering the cost of locking in the venues for the events next year.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And
Like
then
I
with
said, we
that, can
already
you
got
tell us
the
where can they find the information for to find all of the details for your company? What's your
yeah.
website?
Basically, if they go to uh, Midwest Show Me Funny Entertainment, that's Midwest Show Me Funny Entertainment.com. They can connect with me there. There's a layout of the venues because I still had the information on there from last year, and I
Okay.
tried to do updates for this year, and then I had to change to the online event, and now I have to go in and do all updates for next year. Okay.
Got you. Okay.
Um, any of these website links will link you to me. Um, sayitonthebutton.com, thecomedymovement.com, we sick of this shit.com. I'm
I
just
like that
saying.
too.
Okay. The day I almost went postal.com. That's my story that I'm turning into a stage play. It's already a documentary. Uh, certified.crazy.com. Certified-crazy.com. That's the website for the comedy movie Certified Crazy that I'm in the process of writing. And call me directly. I work well with phone numbers.
Okay. So if comedians need a domain, they can contact you. If they want to know more
Yes,
about the comedy festival, they can contact you.
yes.
Do you want to give
Matter
them
of
your
fact,
telephone number now?
yes, 314-243-6034. 314-243-6034. And let me add this. There are a lot of comedians, especially black comedians, that were very fond of my mentor and their mentor, Dick Gregory.
Yes.
Okay. Dick Gregory, he taught me so much. I really enjoyed having, the few private conversations that I had an opportunity to have with him whenever he visited home here in St. Louis, because he's from St. Louis. His brother, Dr. Uh, Ron Gregory or Ronald Gregory, is my mentor now,
Okay.
and he's always there for me. He's been there for me. He was the first person to help me get introduced to his brother, and the idea of here in St. Louis paying tribute to him would be such an honor if I can get more comedians to get behind the idea. Dick Gregory's passed on. I tried to do an honoring of him when he was still alive, and I was so sad that when they did a honoring of him, there weren't that many comedians here in the St. Louis area to show up. And
Okay.
one of my business partners, he's an artist by the name of Eric Shelton. There's a photo, a portrait, a painting of Dick Gregory that Eric Shelton and I came together to present to Dick Gregory, and he signed it. And this was a few years before he passed away. And that portrait is very valuable because Dick Gregory signed it, and he gave Eric the permission to I won't go into that because that's something between Dick Gregory and Eric Shelton. But I made some buttons with Dick Gregory sketch that Eric made, a drawing of him. It's
Mhm.
on the website. If they go to Midway Show Be Funny Entertainment and they go to the store and they see buttons, there's some buttons of Dick Gregory, uh, or say it on the button. You can go to say it on the button. But anyway, I made these buttons with his birth and death date on it, or some to say rest in peace, rest now. I specifically say rest now. And you may find hashtag rest now Dick Gregory. Uh, just to get comedians just to support by getting one of those items would be wonderful, you know,
Mhm.
and to get them to come together
It went out again. I can't hear you.
and am I back now?
Okay, now you're back.
Okay. Just to get the comedians to come together for that alone would be amazing. We know the people in Hollywood, they could, come together and do it. Just imagine us comedians coming together in his hometown, paying tribute to him, and showing this city that Dick Gregory, he did so much for us as a people, working with Martin Luther King. I don't know if you know this, but Dick Gregory was the person that kept St. Louis from burning down when Martin Luther King was killed.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And there's another man that worked closely with Dick Gregory. He's still alive, far as I know, and his name was Percy Green. So back in the day, it was Percy Green and Dick Gregory here in St. Louis, and there were many others who worked with them. But he was one of the main people who worked with Martin Luther King, And people like Andrew Young, Dr. Andrew Young, they really appreciate Dick Gregory. And a lot of people have, I mean, if you Google that man's name, there are so many speeches. I don't know one comedian that was an activist that have as many videos out there with Dick Gregory. And he spoke, when he spoke, he spoke truth.
Yes.
And
Yeah. He did an
I
interview with
mean,
us way back when, but it was like 2009 or 10. But we did get a chance to work with him.
girl, you got that footage. OMG.
Yeah. Yep.
That's got to be one of the top videos on your list to have on your website. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I never got any private video, but I did, get a couple of pictures, here and there. But uh, just talking with him one on one, it's just so precious. It's so personal.
Mm-hmm.
And to get to know his brother, Dr. Ron Gregory, he was the person behind Dick Gregory, especially when it came to St. Louis events. You went through Ron before you got to Dick Gregory. You went
Mm-hmm.
through Ron Gregory. And for me to have that personal relationship with Mr. Gregory, Dr. Ron Gregory and his wife, Joan, uh, it's precious to me because I don't have anybody else that's of history that's still alive that I can communicate with.
Yeah, and Dick Gregory, he has a nephew doing comedy. It's his brother's son,
Yeah, yeah, I
Mark.
know.
That's my buddy.
Mark,
Yeah, he's out
Mark,
in Brooklyn now, but he was here in Ohio. Well,
yeah,
because I'm in Columbus.
I was trying to get Mark on board. Matter of fact, I met Mark in person when I rode to Kansas City to see him perform. Um, it was actually his his brother. Was it their anniversary? Was it his birthday? I think it was their anniversary. But anyway, I rode. It was me, Ron, his wife Joan, and Dick Gregory's personal doctor, police, drove to Kansas City to see Mark perform. And I remember buying one of Mark's T-shirts. And it comes back to tell you how these buttons, keychains, and magnets. If I can get a lot of these comedians to get these items from me, and how they can connect that small item with a T-shirt, that person will hold on to one of those small items before they hold on to that T-shirt.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
that T-shirt may only get worn a few times, but a keychain, they'll put it on their keychains. A magnet, they'll put it on a refrigerator or cabinet. And a button, they may hold on to a button for their life if it's something funny or something that stands out to them. Anyway,
Yeah.
all I can do is just keep preaching.
I get it. I totally get it. And before
Yes,
we end this
man.
interview, do you have anything else that you want to tell our audience?
All I want to say is, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing something positive. Definitely keep doing that. Never give up, no matter what.
No matter what.
Ever, ever, ever. Hold on to your phone numbers. Hold on to your websites.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I will say, I have had the same phone number for since 2002. So I've had my phone number. I've never changed my phone number. And
Yeah.
that is one thing, because then when I talk to the comedians, and I still got the same phone number. So that is one thing that is
Yeah.
important.
I have
Definitely don't change your number.
Yeah, I have the same phone number. I also have a private phone number. I put this
Mhm.
phone number everywhere. It's associated
Yeah.
to all my businesses. So, look, I answer the phone. I'll be like, unless they have my 800 numbers, because I have three 800 numbers that's associated to my business. But they'll call this number, the number that I gave out before they even call the 800 numbers. But
Mhm.
that's the one thing I can say. Connect with someone. And here's a key thing that anyone should do that is that admires anyone that's on the come up. If you want to help that person, help them with something that they really, really need. And sometimes it's a service. You know what I mean? It's a service. And don't be envious of those who are doing well, because trust and believe, those people who are doing well, they are busy. They are super busy. They have a lot of stress. And not everybody can handle fame. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I've been positioning myself mentally to shut it down when I need to shut it down. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And find people who will work with you rather than for you.
Yep.
And that's what I'm
True.
looking for. I'm looking for people to work with me, because I've had a lot of people work for me and screw me or quit on me. So if you work with me, you have an invested interest.
Mhm.
And that's what I love about Kevin Hart's team. He has people working with him.
Yep.
You have to find people that are willing to work with you. I don't care if it takes me another 10 years to pull off my idea, or one of my babies take over and do it. I want people who are willing to work with me than for me. That's why I'm offering this investment opportunity
Uh,
for those who want to get on board.
yeah, I've seen. Let me show you this. Melanie Camacho put this up on her page the other day, and I just so agree with it, because
I
that
would
is
love to work
important.
with her.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love Melanie. She's a great person. But let me show you what it is. I'm almost there. Here it is. It says that loyalty hits different when they got your back and there's nothing in it for them. That's your circle. That's kind of loyalty. And this is oh shoot, I didn't actually hit a button, but this is the post right here. And she tagged a bunch of comedians in it. And I said, that is the truth. I know it's probably backwards, but that is so true. That is very, very true.
Yes, ma'am.
Because even when you make a little penny, some people, it's crazy, man. It's unbelievable how people are. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I told the comedians. We started our radio show, and I said, once I relaunched Slapstick, I called everybody that stuck with me from the beginning. Those are the first people I called. And then what's even crazier,
I know you now. I'm sticking with you.
the crazier part is the ones that called, they answered right away. The other ones did not answer, but they did not call me back until I started posting the articles that we were doing. And now they're like, hey, let's talk. I'm like, I pretty much already got my team together. I know, I mean, I'm still willing to work with people, but step by step. And it's crazy how people are.
Like that, because, like I said, I know what I'm willing to do for you, just to show how I can be loyal.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you in a private conversation before, when we mentioned, comedian like Miss Arkansas and a lot of these other comedians, J. Lee Thomas. I mean, we traveled in my cab when I was a cab driver. We were driving from St. Louis and I used to do this that a lot of people probably didn't know. And this is how I met talent. What's that one white comedian, really funny old guy?
Honest John.
Oh my goodness, Bro Man. I picked a lot of these comedians up in my cab from airports and bus stations and stuff to take to the comedy club that we had here back in the day. First it was Laughs on the Landing, then it was called House of Comedy. Matter of fact, Longhorn was like kind of managing one of the spots, and I would go pick up the comedians for them. I didn't even charge them.
Oh, nice.
I picked them up because for me, I had to learn the business, building business relationships. Now, a lot of people probably forget about that. I'm sure Longhorn probably didn't forget about it, but I was picking the comedians up in my little funky cab. And it's so much to know about me. Oh my goodness, it's so much to know about me. I didn't tell you I was on. Did we fade out again? We faded out again. Can you see me or hear me now?
I can see you.
Okay.
Yep.
You heard me say about the so much stuff to know about me.
That's where it picked up at again. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let somebody find something really funny. I kind of like keep this to myself until it come out, and they call me, and I get phone calls about it every time it airs. I was on Jerry Springer.
That's funny. What was that? Which one was you under? What was you under doing?
Yeah,
Because I used to watch it.
I was fighting my baby daddy mama and her friend. My baby daddy half my age.
It trips me out that Jerry Springer is now a judge. So it's kind of, I watch him because I've watched him for so long on his drama shows. It's kind of hard to take him serious as a judge, but he's still entertaining. I love Jerry Springer.
I didn't know he was a lawyer and all of that before. Yeah, Jerry Springer. And look, when I went on that show to rub elbows and build relationships with behind the scenes people because I knew I wanted to do something, producing, stuff like that, movies. My whole idea was to do something similar to Saturday Night Live, just like they had Mad TV and Living and all of that stuff. I'm associating all of that to Certified Crazy. You see where it's going?
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, if they want to find that episode of Jerry Springer just to get a laugh, and I remember when I was at the Bay Area competition in 2000, this was a 2010, and I was telling some of the comedians there, that's all I heard. Y'all see Woody on Jerry Springer? Oh, did y'all see Woody? Yeah, you just have to check it out. It's under, this how you can find it.
Because I'm dang sure to look it up.
You definitely gonna look it up. You're gonna have you a good laugh. They tried to get me to come back 10 times, but I knew y'all done already made enough money off of me and still making money off of me. So no, unless you're gonna pay me, I will make a hell of a show if I come back for the reboot or replay, reenactment, or whatever you want to call it. But find it under this. Everybody's gonna get a laugh if they go find it. But please don't tag me in it.
Where do we find it at? Because it went out when you were saying it.
Okay, you find it under My Ninth Kid is Your Brothers. My ninth, number 9 TH, Kid is Your Brothers. It's on YouTube. Jerry Springer Crazy Show.
Okay. And you said my 9th kid is your brother?
Yeah, just imagine if I had, I got 9 kids. I have 9 children. Just imagine if my 9th baby was by your brother.
Oh, gosh. Got it. Okay.
My number 9 TH, 9th kid is your brother's. Ain't no telling how many is on that. Jerry Springer, that was a smart show. They making hella money off of everybody who was ever on that show.
Yeah.
Those videos will play forever on YouTube, and they're monetized, and they're making buku. This is what I'm talking about with us as comedians. We could be making millions of dollars together if we would just come together. Look, I'm offering a round table for anybody who wants. All we need is those brands and those corporations to write them fat checks.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into it some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you send me that, and I will be happy to make those samples for you and send them to you and do what you want to do with them. But my goal is to build future relationships, so that's just what I do.
That'll work. I'm definitely going to put this video out and promote and get it all together. Word.
Yeah, these underdogs, unknown comedians, we got good ideas too. We have value.
Yeah.
Don't count us out. We fall and fall hard and fail hard, just like the ones that's on top. And we've made mistakes and stumbled and fell and forgave and moved on and have grudges and all that. But I ain't about the grudges. I'm about building and moving forward.
And I'm with you. With you. It's called growth. But you got my number. We're going to keep in touch. And you can call me anytime. I got you locked in my phone as well.
All right. Well, send that to me. I'm designing the buttons, keychains, and magnets right now for my next set of orders to go out. And yeah, I'm excited to do it for you. I'm excited. I'm
going to send you my logos as soon as we hang up. I'm emailing my logos to you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you
so much for this opportunity.
Anytime. Love you too, sis. Bye.
Bye-bye.